Dexter, one of the most acclaimed crime dramas of the 2000s. A show that captivated millions with its twisted morality and unforgettable characters. While most fans know the story of Miami's most beloved serial killer, there exists a hidden side. A realm full of some of the strangest, most mysterious, and unexplained pieces of media tied to the show. Footage that was never released, projects that quietly vanished, scripts that were rewritten or completely lost. This is the strangest Dexter lost media. Imagine this. It's the late 2000s. You're sitting at your computer, probably still running Vista, when you click on a link a friend sent you. The page loads. Black background, blood red letters. Michael C. Hall's face stares back. It's the Dexter hit list. A strange viral marketing campaign that let fans become the serial killer, name their own victims, upload mugshots, even generate police conference videos that looked eerily real. It was interactive, weird, and oddly ahead of its time. And then one day, it was just gone. Most people don't even remember this campaign existed. Some who do claim they saw their name flash across a projector screen in what looked like a real press briefing. Others uploaded their friends' faces, laughing at how unsettlingly realistic the results were. But now, the site is down, the videos mostly lost, the files broken, and all that remains are screenshots, flickering pieces of a digital ghost. This is the story of one of Dexter's strangest mysteries. This is the Dexter hit list, and its disappearance is just the beginning. Let me explain. The Dexter hit list wasn't just some random gimmick. It was a full-blown digital experience launched by FX in 2008 to promote season 2 of Dexter in the UK, and it was insanely detailed. The idea was simple. You enter a friend's name, a fake crime, upload their photo, and the site would stitch together a video placing that person at the center of a police investigation. The result? A video made to look like a real news broadcast, complete with a press conference setting, reporters asking questions, and a live feed revealing your target as the latest suspect in a string of killings. To an outsider, it looked terrifyingly legit. Users were redirected to a fake news site, something resembling a BBC or CNN style layout. There, your custom video would load, showing a somber press room and a projection screen revealing your chosen victim's name. And this wasn't a low-effort prank site either. The UI was slick, the audio mixing was clean, and the scripting disturbingly professional. It was the kind of thing that made you wonder, was this really just a promotional campaign, or was someone testing something darker? But then it vanished. The site, the videos, the fake news pages, gone. For a while, if you were lucky, you could still find the homepage on the Wayback Machine, a frozen relic of time when studios actually tried strange, creative marketing. But the site's functionality, completely broken. No videos could be rendered, no pages would load correctly, and the deeper you try to dig into what happened to it, the more unnerving things start to feel. There's no public announcement, no official archive, no press release from FX about why it was taken down. It just faded into the digital ether, like it was never supposed to be there to begin with. Let's take a step back. Imagine you're a teenager in 2008. You just finished watching Dexter slice up another bad guy on Sunday night. Monday morning, your friend sends you a link. Hey dude, check this out. You're famous now. You click. Suddenly, your name appears at a police press conference. A mugshot of you appears on a projector, and a reporter says, "This is the man responsible for a string of murders." Your stomach drops. That was the experience for hundreds, maybe thousands of people who used this site. It wasn't just funny, it was real enough to scare you. And it's no wonder that some people online now recall the site with this eerie reverence. There's something almost haunting about this kind of lost media. It's something you made, and then it's lost forever. Every fake press conference video was unique. Every single one tailored with a different name, a different mugshot, a different scream from the crowd. But unless someone thought to download theirs, that version is gone, wiped from the internet, buried in the void of defunct web servers and broken embed links. That's what made this story so different from your typical lost media case. This wasn't just a product from a studio, it was a digital memory and a moment you shared with a fictional killer that now only exists in your mind. And here's where things get even weirder. There was a video file called dextersite.png, a still image from what appears to be one of those generated videos. The quality is terrible, people in it, unclear, but the text reads like something out of a real crime podcast. 10 bodies discovered dumped at sea. So what happened to it? Why would FX build something this elaborate and then pretend it never existed? There are some theories. Some say it was taken down due to privacy concerns. After all, it let you create videos that framed real people as killers, even if it was a joke. Others think it was just a licensing issue. Maybe it was tied to a specific marketing contract that expired. But the more conspiracy-minded people believe something else. That someone took the idea too far. That someone made a video that hit too close to home. A press conference, a fake suspect, a real crime. And maybe that's when FX decided to shut it all down. But here's the truth. We'll never really know. The Dexter hit list campaign was lightning in a bottle. A bizarre fusion of viral marketing, ARG storytelling, and fan engagement that somehow felt more sinister than it should have. And now it's part of lost media history, not because it was forgotten, but because it vanished piece by piece until all that was left were rumors, screenshots, and the unsettling feeling that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't a joke after all. It's late at night. You're bored. You're scrolling through Reddit while half watching reruns of Dexter on your TV. Everything is calm and chill. You get up to grab a snack and decide to kill time by digging through old posts. Nostalgia hits. You wonder, were there ever any Dexter video games I missed? You type into the search bar, Dexter game lost media. And somehow, a thread appears, one you weren't expecting, titled simply, "Is Dexter Slice of Life Lost Media?" It's a post from a user who was only 4 years old when season 6 of Dexter aired. They write about a vivid memory, not of the show itself, but of watching their dad play a Dexter Facebook game. A point-and-click isometric title. It stuck with them. It looked stylish. It looked legit. And now, years later, older, a huge fan of the show, and obsessed with isometric games, they wanted to find it again, but they couldn't. It is no longer available to play on Facebook, and I don't believe it ever was put anywhere else. They ask, is there some really obscure way to find it, or is it just lost to time forever? At a late night in August, a modern ghost hunt begins. What they were looking for wasn't Dexter the game, which was the official iOS release from 2010 with 3D gameplay and voice work by Michael C. Hall. That one's still partially preserved. You can find cracked PC versions of it floating online. What they were looking for was different. Dexter Slice of Life, a completely separate game. An isometric, story-driven experience only ever available through Facebook. A game now lost to time and maybe to memory. A user chimes in. That was a pretty damn good game. It was the perfect phone game where they weren't killing you with pay-to-win shit. Others begin commenting too. The OP replies, I just so badly want to experience it. It's a memory of my childhood which retroactively has become a combination of two big interests of mine. Another commenter admits, I gave it a look 3 days ago to see if by some miracle it would still be there, and it wasn't. Soon after, a mistaken link leads to a dead end. Someone shares a download for Dexter the game, not realizing it's a completely different title. I'm pretty sure that's the other game. Slice of Life is an isometric game, but Dexter the game is a third-person GTA style game. Even the people trying to help aren't sure what they're helping to find. As we can see, other Reddit users were understandably fascinated and puzzled. Theory upon theory chimed in. Honestly, it's probably gone unless someone archived it or something. At the very least, there should be a gameplay video on YouTube or something, but there isn't. One user suggests the Internet Archive. I've considered it, but I don't even know what link to try and put in the Wayback Machine. Another finally steps in. A simple search yields numerous reviews of the game, and from there you can find the original link. There are numerous snapshots returned, but I'm not sure if they work. It ends with, maybe messing around from a PC can help. I'm on my phone now. If you figure it out, let me know. It's very late. They know it's probably just a weird flashback, a hallucination, but the details are too specific to be fake. They're not asking for much. They're just asking for proof that it existed. A clip, a screenshot, anything. As the night carried on, not much more seemed to come from the post. Talks about how games like this were pulled without notice. A few skeptics chimed in, dismissing it all as a misremembered childhood memory. But here's the thing, the OP wasn't alone. Multiple users shared the same recollection, the same visuals, the same feeling, which makes this much harder to write off as a simple case of nostalgia-induced fiction. The face of this game, so to speak, is still there. You can find ancient reviews, mentions of it in digital news blurbs, evidence that Dexter's Slice of Life was a real released product. But you can't play it, you can't download it, there is no video, there is no walkthrough. Just text, fragments, and stories. This story fascinates me because this isn't the only case I know of explaining weird games vanishing from the internet. Just a few years ago, a CSI Facebook game disappeared. Then the Walking Dead social game, House of Anubis the game, gone. No mirrors, no backups, no answers. Facebook games were notoriously fragile. They ran on Flash, lived on third-party hosting, were never designed to be preserved. All it takes is one expired contract, one forgotten server folder, and it's over. However, if we assume that Dexter's Slice of Life wasn't deleted by accident, then that leaves us with a couple of possibilities. The developers abandoned it and Showtime never thought to preserve it. It was taken offline after Season 6 aired and no one archived it in time. Or maybe there's a dusty old PC out there that's still logged in into a forgotten Facebook account where Dexter's Slice of Life still boots up. The world is asleep, and throughout the air, in silence, the peculiar, intimate comfort of late-night TV echoes throughout your home. And in a funny way, it's comforting. You get up to grab a drink, and as the screen softly flickers from one rerun to the next, something on your phone catches your eye. A post, a theory, a confession of sorts. It's about Dexter Morgan. And it's not what you'd expect. A Reddit thread titled "Possible Alternate Ending to the Original Series" floats by. At first, you scroll past it. We've heard it all before, but something about this one feels different, familiar even, like you've dreamt it, or lived it, or maybe just always wished it had gone another way. The theory is simple, but chilling. Dexter doesn't escape to Oregon. He doesn't vanish into the woods. He doesn't live in isolation or a shadow of who he was. In this version, Dexter Morgan is caught. He confesses and he's sentenced to death. The entire series, every season, every victim, every dark passenger monologue wasn't a dream. It happened. But this ending begins with Dexter strapped to the table. Cold, alone, awaiting the needle. As the drugs begin their slow, inevitable march, Dexter looks out at the observation room, and he sees them. All of them. Rita, Dokes, LaGuerta, Trinity, Lila, Deborah. Not alive, not real, just watching. Silent, still, and ghostly. The faces of those whose lives he's destroyed. Victims, witnesses, sentinels of judgment. His story doesn't unravel, it concludes. Quietly. Reddit user Not Another Donut wrote, "Think the writer used the wrong word in the title. I read this to mean that Dexter is reliving all his kills before execution, not that he's hallucinating things that didn't happen." The image that this ending paints is somber and strangely poetic. As user Direwolf71 explained, Dexter is already the narrator of the story. Everything that happened, happened. This simply changes the end from Harrison killing Dexter, which was so jarring and unearned, to Dexter has been sentenced to death as the Bay Harbor Butcher. They even rewrote it, beat for beat. Nix Dexter killing Logan, put Logan at Kurtz and have Dexter work his way past the other deputy without killing him. We get a Dexter-Harrison final scene where Dexter tries to convince Harrison to go with him. He can't. Dexter lets go. A final monologue confirms Dexter turned himself in, confessed. This was earned. He had come to this decision once already in season 2. Instead of a messy finale in a snowy forest, instead of Harrison turning vigilante, judge, jury, executioner because his dad killed a wrestling coach, we would have had this. A moment of reckoning. A once again quote-unquote death that makes sense. But it never happened, and according to some, it never could. One commenter noted, the network wouldn't allow Clyde to kill Dexter, so his arrest was off the table too, in case they wanted to bring him back. No wonder we got the ending we did. Yet the haunting part about this ending is that it's vivid, detailed, and even feels alive. No wonder we got the ending we did. But here's one comment in particular that stuck. I wanted it to end with him being sentenced to death. Then him being escorted out of the courthouse to a crowd of screaming fans like the end of season 1. Fast forward to him on the lethal injection table, insert inner monologue joke about being on a table. Executioner asks if he has any last words. Dexter looks at the camera, tonight's the night, end scene. The words echoed across the thread. Users upvoted it, quoted it, rewrote it in their heads, and then they logged off. But sometimes when you let yourself think too long, you wonder, what if it did exist? What if there's a version of the finale out there, shot, edited, rendered, where Michael C. Hall delivers that final line with tears in his eyes and ghosts at his back? And what if someone stopped it from ever seeing the daylight? Dexter, a show that once ruled the airwaves, and in its shadow, stories that keep resurfacing, unresolved, unsettling, and sometimes completely forgotten. Tonight, we explored 3 lost and lingering echoes from the world of Dexter, a vanished website, a forgotten game, and an ending that never was. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to support me a little bit more, getting early access to videos that are ad-free, go check out my Patreon to see what interests you. Lastly, join the Discord to discuss all your favorite pieces of media and more. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, stay safe.